South Korean President Yoon Yeol ordered the immediate dispatch of military aircraft to evacuate South Koreans in areas affected by the ongoing conflict in the Middle East. Presidential office spokesperson said in a press briefing that Yoon had ordered the immediate dispatch of military aircraft and asked officials to operate an around-the-clock monitoring system to assess the situation. So an escalation there, which everyone is witnessing. Ali, I'm coming back to you, taking this discussion further. After the 7/10 terror attacks on Israel, just a day after that, in fact, less than 24 hours after the Hamas attacks on Israel, we also saw offensive attacks from Hezbollah from the south of Lebanon towards the north of Israel. Is it really right to say that Israel is escalating this conflict?
Yes, it is, I believe, in all the political and international law sense, an escalation on the part of Israel, because let us be very clear, what happened on October 7th might be problematic to a lot of people, but nevertheless, it occurred around the border areas of Gaza. Gaza is well known in the international law that it is being considered and treated as an occupied territory, not as an independent territory by the Israelis. It is an occupied territory and has been treated as an open prison by the Israeli regime and has been forcing its residents to live under extreme dire circumstances, cutting off food and electricity and water at any point in time. This is what led to the escalation in the first place. Now, what Hezbollah did on October the 8th was a strategic intervention because they understood that the Gazans, as we saw over the past years, and we're talking about officially 42,000 martyrs killed Palestinians within Gaza, and we're talking about the Lancet has estimated the actual number of deaths about a massive ethnic cleansing. And Hezbollah understood that from a strategic standpoint and understood that the Palestinian factions, part of what is known as a resistance axis, and this is where the real geopolitics to not be wiped out. This is an approach that has been taken initially by the United States and the UK and Germany and France and Japan and other nations that have directly intervened within Israeli affairs when it comes to its position in the region. So why is it that major nations can interfere? This is the logic of Hezbollah, whilst other collaborators or other colleagues or other resistance factions cannot interfere. And to balance out the support that the US chiefly gave Israel, which was a massive support both in troops, in military aid, and in financial aid, Hezbollah had to step in and rebalance a bit the position. So in that sense, this is an escalation. Targeted assassinations on inaugurations day are escalations. The destruction and the level of political leaders and diplomatic chiefs is an escalation. And to add the insult to injury, Israel has been conducting intensive air raids that have killed, to this day, we've had some of the highest death rates in Lebanon and in conflict history in the 21st century, where they managed to kill almost 600 Lebanese in a single day. That was past Monday, and they've went on a killing spree where we're talking about 100 to 150 civilians per day, sometimes up to 300 and 200. So in this sense, Israel is not seeking to de-escalate, it is seeking to escalate and drag the entire region with it to the ground. We've seen this through the American talk, we've seen this through the British talk, a sort of repetition of the same idea that Israel has the right to defend itself, but against whom at this point? The civilians. At least France had some different opinion. French President Emmanuel Macron has called the UNSC for an urgent meeting on Friday after the assassination of the Hezbollah chief. and said that this is unprecedented escalation, unacceptable. The Belgian vice prime minister said the same thing. The deputy prime minister said the same thing. The Spanish foreign minister said the same thing. And here we're talking about Western countries, not Eastern or Asian or African. So we're still in the same, let's say, ideological bloc. So from that standpoint, if Western nations are seeing Israel's action as an escalation, then certainly they are. And they have crossed a lot of red lines.
I would like to interrupt you there. We will keep coming back to you. Please continue to stay with Republic. We are following the story very closely.